Possession is very real. I have witnessed possession, not just of people, but also of places. In my time as a Tantric Siddha, I have conducted multiple successful exorcisms. You do not have to take my word for the reality of possession. If you want to experience the reality of both demonic and angelic possession, conduct a ritual to access subtle space and make yourself open to these entities. You will discover their reality soon enough. Tantric exorcism differs from Abrahamic exorcism in that the body and mind are not discounted in the Tantric system. Abrahamic exorcism focuses exclusively on advancing towards spiritual purity. The Abrahamics focus on expulsion of demons, not the expulsion of angels. Demonic forces are of an immanent nature, and angelic forces are of a transcendent nature. These entities correspond with the left hand demonic and right hand angelic paths. Tantric exorcists recognize that people and places can become possessed and/or haunted by both demons and angels. Angelic possession is just as destructive as demonic possession. Crowley's interaction with the entity known as Ayahuasca is an obvious example of angelic possession. Note the difference in the eyes of the angelically possessed versus the demonically possessed.
I got fifth finger in all your faces, thanks a lot. You're an inhumane bunch of fucking living bastards and bitches, and you're gonna get your asses nuked in the end, and pretty soon it's coming.
Why on earth would you have hurt those people? Why did you kill those people?
No comments, no comments. I cannot answer that at this time.
Did you do that? Do it again.
In time.
No, now.
In time.
Those who are under angelic possession direct their gaze to the beyond, while those who are under demonic possession direct their gaze to the material. The angelically possessed are obsessed with mass action. They seek unification, often in death, and this can lead them to commit acts of mass violence. Contrast this with the tendencies of the demonically possessed. These individuals tend to target singular victims, and they often express their rage through violently sexual acts or the consumption of human flesh. There are specific entities that are associated with each of the chakras, and the form of possession that is manifested is associated with the quality of the entity's chakra consciousness. Mahakali is a goddess associated with Muladhara consciousness. Possession by Mahakali may lead to intense bloodlust. In contrast, Yahweh is a deity associated with Sahasrara consciousness, and possession by Yahweh may lead to the dissolution of the barriers that allow for the development of form within the cosmos. There are many entities that are capable of possession. When assessing the presence of an entity, the exorcist conducts an analysis of consciousness in order to determine what chakra is dominant. This helps to quickly eliminate a large number of potential candidates. Once the state of consciousness has been analyzed, the exorcist may employ a variety of techniques to expose the identity of the demon or angel. Specific techniques for identifying and expelling entities will be discussed at a later time. For now, it is important to simply be aware of the fact that entities accessed through subtle space have the ability to take possession. Possession is not inherently positive or negative. It is simply a state of consciousness. Some yogins may allow themselves to become possessed in order to achieve a specific goal, such as the channeling of a deceased person. Willful possession is a dangerous practice, and when it goes awry, it is necessary for an exorcism to be performed in order to expel the invading consciousness. It is important to understand that willful possession through ritual practice is not the only manner in which an individual may become possessed. Possession can occur through many pathways. For instance, there are exoteric pathways to possession, just as there are esoteric pathways. Possession and exorcism work on the principle of as above, so below. Is the alcoholic possessed by the bottle or by a demon? The answer is both. There is a reason why alcohol is referred to as spirits after all. In the example of the alcoholic, we would say that his extreme consumption of alcohol has left him open for possession by spirits that are associated with alcohol consumption. Mahakali is one such spirit. If the alcoholic wishes to fully rid himself of his affliction, he must do so both exoterically and esoterically. That is, he must expel his outer and inner demons. The outer demon is the bottle. The inner demon is the possessing spirit. The emphasis on the recognition of the higher power in many 12-step programs is a holdover from the ancient recognition of the need for esoteric intervention in order to bring an individual's consciousness back into positive adjustment. The power must be higher in the case of the alcoholic, because alcohol is a substance of the left hand and is therefore associated with the lower chakras. To expel a demon of the lower chakras, one must appeal to an angel of the higher chakras. This creates a counterbalance of energies that is powerful enough to facilitate exorcism. Tantric exorcism relies on the ability of the exorcist to properly identify the counterbalance to a given energy.
And I am Lucifer, the devil in the flesh.
This is a yogic practice similar to asana. When practicing asana, counter postures are utilized in order to balance the flow of prana in the body. The exorcist directs prana in this way as well. If a demon or angel is encountered, an opposing force must be applied of significant strength in order to expel the entity. This is an essential rule of magic that may be applied in all practices. I refer to this rule as the doctrine of counterbalance. If the counterbalance that is supplied lacks sufficient power to expel the opposing force, the exorcism will fail. Exorcists must develop a working knowledge of these energies so that proper power may be directed in a ritual. The power of these energies are influenced by a number of factors. Ritual devotion in this dimension grants power to entities in other dimensions, and those entities may influence the power of things in this dimension of consciousness. This is why it is important that certain cults and symbols are preserved and empowered. You never know when you may need access to a certain energy. We live in an age where skepticism has a death grip on many people, but the skeptic is no less open to possession than those who feel the presence of the gods. The skeptic is in fact far more open to the dangers of exoteric possession, and he cannot benefit as effectively from practices that incorporate the esoteric, such as Tantric Exorcism. It is for this reason that I encourage anyone who is struggling with forces that seem beyond their control to become aware of the presence of the gods in this dimension. Once again, you do not have to take my word for it. Reach out to the gods and search for the counterbalance that might just deliver you from possession.